Well, good morning, everyone. And once again, welcome to another live this morning. And nice to have you come on with us. We appreciate you guys big time. Thanks for making The Doctor is In podcast numero uno. Very popular health podcast. Thank you. Andrea, number one. Mike, Nativity, right at the top. Sue, good morning to you. Sandy from Fergus Falls, Minnesota. Karen from Peterborough. Ilana, from New York. Madeleine, Kipawaki, Beck. Wendy from Markham. Nick from our staff. Fran from Orangeville, Kathy, Port Perry, Donna Belleward, and there's Brahim. Brahim, what happened to you? Marilyn, PEI, Yaloud, bonjour. John, Elgin, Illinois, and Georgie from Halifax, Nova Scotia. Amber from New Jersey, how are you? Kitty from Kelowna. Wendy from London. Nicole from Sudbury. Sue, Bolton. Karen from Coldwater, and I bet you it's cold. Micheline. And Grace, how are you? Milika from Stouffville. Donna from Newfoundland. And Linda says she's listening. Well, thank you. We love those, Linda. And John and Linda from Niagara Falls. And Shelley from Saskatchewan. Gloria from New York. And Faye from Terrace, British Columbia. Marianne, how are you? Rosalinda, the Kidneys of Canada. And Gertie from Burlington. And Norma, good morning from Burlington. How do you like that? Diane, Thunder Bay. And Patricia from Florida. John, how is you? And Linda, these Lindas, we love them. New Brunswick. Francis from Vaughan. Deb from Motown, right, Deb? Carol, Mount Pearl, Newfoundland. IT, Unionville. Couple of more. Joanne. Two Joannes in a row. One from Elmira. Shelley, Sherwood Park. And Bonnie from Little Britain. Diana, nice to have you on. Deb. And Maureen, Penticton, British Columbia. Arlene, nice to have you on. And Marlo from Ottawa. Okay, guys, I promise hi Sylvia, going to be the last session here on Are You Built for Cancer? Okay, just because I sort of been doing a book review, my own. You know what, guys? A book written in 2014, and I sort of forget. I forgot a lot of it, what I wrote. I mean, it's not like I haven't talked about it since. But just some of the things that I found interesting, and we've done that the last few days, just talked about, cancer. And are you built for cancer? And again, the overarching message of the book basically is this. There's three things that drive cancer. And they all start with an I. Insulin, food, and bad food. Carbs and crappy carbohydrates. And we talked about fuel. Cancer needs fuel, and it's the Otto Warburg effect. And that the Warburg effect is cancer cells. They live on fermentation. And just like, milk is turned to yogurt and cabbage is turned to sauerkraut and sourdough bread, how do you make it? Well, you need bacteria and they need to feed off sugar. okay? And cancer cells operate in the same way. They exist on fermentation. And we knew that way back in 1928. And now we know so much more about insulin, and insulin is a growth hormone. And today, I read something the other day. I think I even mentioned, I might have mentioned on an earlier program, 50% of Americans, and whenever I say America, believe me, Canadians, we ain't no different. We eat the same. 50%, this statistic comes out of the United States, 50% of Americans are pre-diabetic. And about 80% of those 50% of the total population, they have no clue that they're pre-diabetic. They have no idea. Because as far as they're concerned, they have no symptoms. And because doctors generally don't look at metabolic syndrome, they really don't. They got cholesterol all upside down yesterday again, and every day it's going to happen again on our private Facebook group. Somebody's going to come on there, and I understand why they come on there, and I'm glad they do. They come on there and they go, I'm scared. I'm terrified. I'm confused. My doctor's calling me back and wants me to, my cholesterol is too high. And they reach out to our group. And, you know, I don't have to say anything, are you guys? You guys answer them. Why are you worried about cholesterol? But you can understand why they are, because their doctor is worried about it. They don't know how to read lipids properly because they've been hijacked by the pharmaceutical industry. They're hijacked by it. And even if you get in the news and you see that Robert Kennedy Jr. got out of committee, meaning that he's going to have a vote on the entire Senate. Look, guys, and the reason I bring it up, it's not politics. It's because he's sort of going against the grain. And man, oh man, did he ever get raked over the coals. Because the big pharma, they got everybody on, just about everybody in the Senate. They're all taking money from big pharma. Do you think we're going to change stuff? You got to do that individually. You got to take responsibility for your own health. And it's hard to go up against a doctor. When they start talking about cholesterol and you're going to die of a heart attack, you're going to have a stroke. And what do? I get that. I understand that. But the reason I bring it up is because when we talk about even pre-diabetes, if you're not reading blood work properly, you know, if you don't know that A1C, for example, is a very, very important test. And they say, like, pre-diabetes is when they're up into the sixes in A1C. But we know, you and I know better than that, because if you're above 5.4, you really are having trouble with insulin. And bringing this to cancer, by the way, if your A1C is elevated, you're in trouble, even with cancer, never mind just heart disease. Because cancer needs fuel. Cancer needs fuel. So we have insulin. The second one, the second I, is inflammation. Now, inflammation is not Houdini. There's something going on in the body that creates an inflammatory response. One of them is insulin. Insulin resistance at the cellular level, your body creates an inflammation. And then the biggest one, in my opinion, is leaky gut. You got garbage in your blood. It got in there because your microbiome, your bacteria, has been compromised. You got more bad guys than good. You get the invasion of candida yeast. And there are some pathologists that have said every cancer, every tumor is yeast-based. It's fungal. That's been going on for a long time. They've said it a long time, but it hasn't hit mainstream because, like I said, cancer treatment has not changed in the last 80 years. It's the same. It's chemo, it's radiation, it's surgery. And there's no talk about lowering your insulin. There's no talk about lowering your inflammation. And the third eye is immunity. Your immune system is deficient, not working properly. So over the last few days, we talked a lot about that. Okay? Now, today, what I want to do is talk to you about, okay, what can you do? Obviously, food. Change fuels. Don't give cancer what it wants. Cancer is like a teenager. They want junk. Okay? They're ravenous, looking for glucose. Okay? So, food, number one. And, your immune system, let's talk about that. We have, but just touch on it again. Get your immune system firing on all cylinders. Okay? Get your immune system firing on all cylinders. You have a good immune system. You're giving your body every chance. Your body is very intelligent. You're fearfully and wonderfully made. Your body is an attack machine against cancer. It is. But it's gotta be up to snuff. Your immune system has to be fired. And I'm gonna tell you something, and again, you're never gonna hear this in mainstream media. Don't wait for your doctor to talk to you about this. Get your vitamin D levels optimized. There's enough research to show that. Again, it's not mainstream, but the sun, vitamin D, every one of your T cells, your Navy SEALs have receptors. They're looking for the sun to supercharge them. Okay? And we talked about yesterday, don't put your T cells to sleep by eating sugar. Sugar will put your T cells, your Navy SEALs, right to sleep. Your Navy SEALs are out there looking for cancer cells. Yeah, they're looking for bacteria and viruses too, but they're on alert for cancer cells. I'm telling you guys, every one of you out there, including me here, fight cancer on a daily basis. Okay? And, again, I wrote this in my book. I've told you this many a time. Okay? This is really important that you understand this. For cancer to grow to the tip of a ballpoint pen, which I'm showing you right now, just the tip of it, cancer takes 5 years. People have this idea, cancer is rapid. No, it's not. Only in the late stages does it rapidly. Cancer is a slow-moving phenomenon. It's not rapid. It wasn't like, like you're in the shower, ladies, okay? And you feel I feel a little lump in my breast there. Wasn't there last week. And you get it checked. And the doctor said, yeah, well, we got to, do a mammogram or whatever they do. And then they, you know what? Yeah, we see a little something there. And then, let's do a biopsy. And, anyway, I'm not telling you to do it or not to do it. I'm just telling you what's done 1,000,000 times a day in North America. And then they call you, right? If you get a call from your doctor, run, Forrest, run. They got bad news. By the way, the doctor would like to see you after a biopsy. Uh-oh. And people think, well, a month ago, I didn't have breast cancer, but they're telling me now I have breast cancer. I'm telling you something, my friend. That cancer had been in your body for at least 5 years. And that's why you can fight it. If you understand the fight and you understand what to do, do everything you can. Immune system up. Get your immune system firing on all cylinders. Get your insulin down. Okay? Get your insulin down. And get inflammation down. This is why I am so big on probiotics. Guys, it's one of my favorite supplements. And I don't care if it's you or your dog. Everyone needs to be on probiotics. We just live in a world full of toxins, externally and internally, plastic coming out the wazoo. Everybody has it. I don't care if you live in Costa Rica. I don't care if you drink out of glass bottles. Good for you. But you got plastic. Everybody on the planet does. And you got, you got fertilizers, you got chemical chemistry. It's in the soil, it's in the air, it's everywhere. In this book, I talked about 100,000 chemicals have been created since World War II, and the vast majority of them are in our homes. You guys, there's nowhere you can run or hide from it. That's why you have to build your immune system. Your immune system knows what to do. That's why you need probiotics. Because broad spectrum probiotics have different strains, and different strains do different things. And they protect you. They knit up. They zipper up. You're regenerating the zipper between your gut and your blood. You want your blood to be pristine. Probiotics help with that. Okay? And the best food, okay? I get excited. The best food. Listen, Linda's. Because Linda said she was listening. Listen, Linda and Larry. Listen. The best food to feed your probiotics, okay? Don't buy all the BS, guys, because that's what it is. It's there to sell you on fluff. The best food to feed your bacteria is steak. Okay? It's steak, not fiber. That was brought to you by Kellogg's. No, steak is, and eggs are, and cheese is, and butter is, and good dairy is. That's the best stuff. to feed your good bacteria. Okay? And you know what another one is? Proven? Coffee. Coffee. Let's hear it. And guys, one of the best things, look, I'm really big on this, guys. You guys know this. I'm really big on limiting your drinking. Okay? I mean, we talked about alcohol. Okay? I'm not talking about that kind of drinking. I said, here's what I got my patients to do. Okay? If I had a patient that had cancer, I said, you're going to go home and here's what you're going to drink. You are going to, I'm limiting you big time. Okay? I'm limiting you big time. You're going to drink water. Okay? Doc, I don't like water. I didn't say you had to like it. I said, here's what you're going to do. You're going to flush out all those toxins, and only water is water, number one. I said, do you like coffee? I love coffee. But my doctor said, don't listen to what your doctor says. You know what your doctor knows about coffee? Nothing. They wouldn't know the real vitamin C if it slapped them in the face, because they never read anything about it. They don't do any studying about it. And the only people that ever told them anything in medical school was limit coffee because you're going to get dehydrated. That's all they know. You want to help with cancer? Drink coffee. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants, anti-inflammatories, and you get to drink it. Now, don't mess it up. Don't mess coffee up by putting sugar in it. I don't even like those sweeteners. The artificial sweeteners. Why do you gotta have that? Put some cream in it if you gotta have something. And not milk, cream. Go home, drink water, and drink coffee. Got the memo? Okay. I'd give them a high five. Are you going to listen to me? And then thirdly, here's what I would do. I would make a Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. Anti-cancer. Doc, are you kidding? No, I'm not kidding you. Here's how you make it. Okay? Here's how you make it. I want you to put 3 or 4 ounces of heavy cream. Like cream, like milk used to be. Okay? Until the geniuses went fat-free. You know the geniuses out there that don't know nothing about nothing? Fat makes you fat. Fat's going to elevate your cholesterol. Fat is terrible. Says who? Don't eat butter, eat margarine. You could put margarine in your oil gauge, and it would run your car. It wasn't meant for your human body. Anyway, the geniuses out there that said fat is so bad, that saturated fat, you're going to clog up your arteries. No, just the opposite. Anywho, I wanted people to take Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie as a treatment. I said, here's what how you're going to make it. 3 to 4 ounces of heavy cream. Because it'll taste like a McDonald's milkshake. Okay? And then 3 or 4 ounces of water. Okay? Put in, I really like flax seeds. Okay? I wanted people on flax seeds. Why? Because flax seeds block estrogen, which is a cancer driver, especially breast, especially prostate in men, ovarian, uterine, cervical cancer. Block estrogen. Flax seeds are wonderful. Put them in your smoothie. And make a doctor. And then I want you to put blueberries in there. Now you can put raspberries and strawberries, but there are studies. Okay, that's in my book, 2014. Let me just say about blueberries. I got them here somewhere else. Okay, what can I have here? Let me just see, make sure. I got a little study on blueberries. Where did I put it? Oh, boy. Anyway, I had this page. Okay, let me just see here. Okay. Anyway, there's a study on blueberries, okay? Done way back when. I think it was 2008 or whatever. And blueberries are very, very anti-cancer. So, and Northern Ontario, wild blueberries, okay? The bears love them, okay? Do you know that bears will eat up to 30,000 blueberries a day when they're getting ready to get fat? So if you want to lose weight, don't eat a lot of blueberries, okay? Because bears use them. That fructose that goes right to their liver, they fatten right up a bear for hibernation, okay? But blueberries are good for you, okay? And that's why I want them in Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. Now, don't put a banana in there. Put blueberries in there for cancer. And it's so good for you. Okay? So you want those flax seeds. You want those berries. You want that healthy fat. The cream. Okay? And make yourself a perfect smoothie. So what do you drink? Water? At least 2 liters a day. 64 ounces for my American friends. Coffee, 4 cups is the sweet spot. All the research, the anti-cancer research talks about drinking 4 cups of coffee a day. And don't mess your coffee up. Drink it right. And then Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. Okay? And by the way, you can make it for your kids. If you ever want to do a meal replacement, if you ever wondered, kids love that smoothie. They love that smoothie. I used to get kids with ADD and ADHD in the morning and get their parents. I said, make them a smoothie. Make them Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie with lots of fat, and their brain will thank you. And they like it. They go, geez, this is medicine? I didn't know medicine could taste that good. Okay? So, supplement-wise, vitamin D. If you can get it from the sun, better. But you can actually measure it. You want to be a fighting cancer machine, you need to get your blood, and we've known this for many, many, many years. Get optimized vitamin D levels. Optimize them. Get them up there. You know, your doctor will be, oh, your vitamin D is getting high. Good. Trust the research. Get your vitamin D up. Get your omega-3 up. Okay? Study after study. What does it say here? I have one here, I think. I just wrote it down this morning on a Journal of Epidemiology. Omega-3 reduces colorectal cancer, one of the most prevalent cancers today is colorectal cancer. Do you know that colorectal cancer? Look, when I was in school in the 70s, here's what colorectal cancer, it wasn't like there was none. There was, but it was rare. And it was old men. Old men, colorectal cancer. You know what it is today? It's young people. And I'm telling you, if you think sugar rots your teeth, and it does, sugar will rot your gut, and it does. That's why. And then you add those bad oils that were meant for your car, that are now in almost every food in the middle aisles of your grocery store. You combine that with sugar, and you got a perfect storm for your bowel. And that's why there's so much colorectal cancer today. People are eating the wrong food. And they live on carbs, and they think that they're doing themselves a favor, and this is why we have so much colorectal cancer today. But just buy omega-3. And the best omega-3, guys, there's a lot of cars on the road, okay? There's a lot of cars on the road. There's a lot of omega-3. They're found in the plant kingdom, and they're found in the animal kingdom. But here's the best omega-3. The best omega-3s are not found in plants, okay? Like even flax seeds have omega-3. But I don't want you taking flax seeds for omega-3. I really don't. I want you to take flax seeds for the lignans that will block your estrogen, okay? The best omega-3, the best car on the road, is the animal omega-3, which is EPA and DHA. And guys, this should have been mainstream. This should have been, everybody on the planet should have heard about this study that shows that omega-3 DHA, tumors, it's a Trojan horse for a tumor. It destroys the tumor from within. Get your omega-3 levels, guys, up. Get vitamin D up. Get your probiotics up. See when I do that with my fingers? Balloons go off on Facebook. I don't know why. I don't do it on purpose. Okay? So supplement-wise, food-wise, eat your steak. Cut out the sugars. You know, guys, look. Here's another one. Curcumin. Okay? Study after study with curcumin. Okay? I love curcumin, by the way. Okay? Which is the extract from turmeric. Okay? Turmeric, the problem with turmeric, it's very poorly absorbed. But curcumin, the extract, is very anti-cancer. You know why? Because study after study, there have been a lot of studies on curcumin. You know what it does? Curcumin, okay? What it does, it cuts off the blood supply to cancer cells. Now, we've known this for a long time, but again, it ain't going to be mainstream. Very few people will talk about this. To me, guys, this is just things one can do. Like, you know, I get a lot of people, and I get it. I was in practice for a long, long time, and people came from all over the world to see me, and I appreciated that, and I took my job more than serious. And people that had cancer, you know, unfortunately for me, often, The cancer was advanced. I was the last guy that they came to see. Okay? I was the last. Usually. Not the first, the last. I was into prevention, guys. If I could get people before they got sick, and I did all their biomarkers, and I said, look, you're on the Titanic. You got to change course. You're going to hit an iceberg. I liked it better when I got people that were on the Titanic and hadn't hit the iceberg yet. But I'm telling you, here's what I know about cancer. And I've studied it and studied it and studied it for 50 years. Here's what I know. Don't feed it. Here's what I know. Go against it. Get your immune system going. Okay? And there's certain foods. Avoid the sugars. And I love berries. Very anti-cancer. I love steak. Cancer hates steak. It hates it. Opposite of what you hear. Cancer, red meat, and colon cancer. Well, it's funny because red meat consumption is down 30% in the last 20 or 30 years. It's down 30%. And cancer rates are up over 100, 200% of colon. Well, it can't be the steak. It's not. It never is, guys. Never once did cancer. Oh, I know why you got cancer. You're eating red meat, says the doctor who knows nothing about nutrition. Nothing. Go to your plumber. You're going to get better advice on nutrition. I know plumbers that know more nutrition than doctors. They just don't learn it in school. And then all of a sudden they're an expert. Well, here's your boost in the cancer centers. Here's what you should drink. Not Dr. Martin's Perfect Smoothie. Why don't you drink Boost? Why don't you drink Ensure? Well, you're going to boost your cancer and you're going to ensure your cancer grows. I get excited. I get a headache. I get a migraine. And then let me finish with this one, Navitol. I put every patient on Navitol, by the way, pine bark extract. But it's a powerful antioxidant. It protects your cells from cancer. It elevates your glutathione. You know what glutathione is? Velcro. That takes toxins out of your body. And your glutathione goes after cancer cells. Your body makes glutathione, but when you take Navitol, it elevates your glutathione. It elevates your nitric oxide. Now, that's good for your heart, but it's also good for your immune system. Nitric oxide boosts your immune system. I think I should write another book. Okay. Guys, okay, now remember, tomorrow's Thursday, and that means an afternoon session. We're going to go at 4 o'clock tomorrow. Okay? Afternoon tomorrow. Okay? For my folks out on the West Coast, they like that. But you guys are great. You know, we get so many from the West Coast of Canada and the United States, and you get up early in the morning to do us live. We appreciate that. Okay? And again, guys, you can share this information. You know, like one thing about algorithms, I don't know anything about them. But I know one thing. If you like us and you share this, Facebook shares it even more. And then proclaim. The Doctor is in podcast on your favorite smart device. Okay? And that's why it's so popular, because you guys have made it popular. And we thank you. Okay, guys, we love you dearly and sincerely. Talk to you soon.